I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so.
Welcome to Title Adam in the House, the podcast where Florida real estate gets real. Buyers, sellers, builders, lenders. If you're in the game, then you belong in the house. Let's get you to the closing table faster and with less stress. Let's go. Hey everybody, it's Title Adam. I'm in the house. I'm in Lehigh Acres on Lee Boulevard. They call it Lee Boulevard Central, and here's why. There's a lot going on downtown, if you will. If you're buying, selling, building, refinancing, hey, if you're doing a deal in Florida, tag in Title Adam & Co. because I'm local and licensed. I can't wait to help. I wanted to bring a couple of items to you on the calendar that are on the radar. I want to share with you. Want to let you know kind of what's been going on with us, but also share with you a couple of interesting listings that have hit the deck, courtesy of Real Estate by Barber. That's Jade Varela, and she is your local real estate option. My favorite realtor, bar none. Coming up on the calendar with Royal Palm Coast Realtor Association, we have the YPN Trivia Night. Premier Reputation Title is the title sponsor of YPN Trivia Night. That's at Nice Guys Pizza on August 25th at 5 p.m. for YPN. And as I said, we're the title sponsor, so you'll enjoy free pizza and garlic knots all night long. Trivia, awesome. Great time with local professionals, and it's just $15 per player. Teams up to 5, and one player on the team does have to be a member or affiliate of Royal Palm Coast Realtor Association. Premier Reputation Title is a proud affiliate. We love supporting our real estate partners. We love to make it fun. We love to help them get out of the office, so to speak, and unwind a little bit. And sometimes that's just having a trivia night, hanging out, great pizza, great garlic knots, a couple brewskis possibly, sober friendly as well. So come out. And if you're interested, I've got my team of 5 already put together. They're taking more up to August 18th. You can register. They won't be taking walk-ins the day of, but that's at Nice Guys Pizza in Cape Coral. That's on the 25th. It starts at 5. I'll be there with Jade, and the rest of my team is coming with me as well. And we will be armed with all of the useless information that we've acquired over a lifetime here on this planet. So we look forward to seeing you there. And if you can't make it to that event, we've got a couple more coming up. Next week on Wednesday, the 19th, Jeff Tamburello and Mike Lyons, they're the directors of Southwest Florida REIA, and they have really, really good meetings in North Fort Myers. I'm going to my first one next week, and this is actually going to be a presentation on demands and defaults. And this is going to be talking a little bit about maybe what today's financial landscape is bringing as far as opportunities and how to navigate. I'll tell you, demands and defaults, it got my attention, right? Because I have a background in mortgage, I have a background in real estate sales, and now I'm your local licensed title insurance agent. I'm interested in hearing what they have to say. If you've ever tuned in to Tamburello, you know he's got some really great content that he puts out. I don't agree with everything he says, but I think that he is someone who knows what he's talking about. Him and Mike both put out really great content. So if you've not yet attended a Southwest Florida REIA meeting, this might be the one for you to check out first. And I will be there, and Jade is going as well. We can't wait. That's the 19th at 5:30. That's in North Fort Myers. There's a little restaurant just over the bridge there, and we'll look forward to seeing you there. Jeff, I'm excited to meet you there when I go as well. After that, we've got the NABOR Symposium. This is exploring the future of real estate. This one looks really cool. Jade and I are going to attend this one as well. This is NABOR. And it is being held at Arthrex, and they're going to be delving into what the future of real estate really looks like. And I'm sure they're going to incorporate themes of AI, right, which we all have interest in. They're going to be talking a little bit about the way that the landscape will change. And in any time that this has happened over, the course of time, it's the person that's able to adapt that's going to survive. And I think that finding information and data that will help us to navigate changes in the landscape is great. I also like to see who attends. I want to see who's out there soaking up that information, because it's likely I'm either going to be competing very strongly for business against them, or I'm going to be competing to work with them. The real estate agents that understand what's going on in the industry, the real estate agents that know the business, that make it their business to be in business. those are the people that go to events like that. So if you haven't gotten your ticket yet, you don't have to be a member of NABOR to attend. And I'd love to see you there. We could chat before or after the event. We could walk around during. We could do whatever we want. That event is actually going to be from noon to 6. It is a half-day symposium. And I would really, really recommend that you get tickets sooner rather than later for that. And that's at NABOR, Naples Area Board of Realtors, for those of you that are not here in Southwest Florida. One of the boards that we really have found a lot of value going to their events. And we found that is almost a completely different set of friends that we have down there. So anytime there is an event, the Ritz-Carlton down there we went, if they're at NABOR we've went to, we love spending time with them. And then they have on the 16th of September, they have the NABOR Commercial Conference. Now this one I really love. We went last year and we saw a lot of our friends there and we met a lot of new people there as well. At the commercial conference, you're going to have heads from Lee County Transportation, Collier County Economic Development, Charlotte County Economic Development, Hendry County Economic Development Council. Those types of people are going to be there presenting what they see in the commercial landscape for the coming year. Now, I know that a lot of people that hang out with me, that subscribe to my channel, that listen to my podcast say, I'm a residential guy or girl. I don't mess with commercial, but I got to share with you, last year, when we were there, the information was so profound. It was so profound to hear how many people travel through Hendry County into Lee County and then back home. And then how many people even go Collier Lee into Hendry and back. There's just a really rich story that's being told about the commercial landscape. And they don't have a crystal ball, but they're telling you, they're giving us information about, influx of businesses. We're talking about businesses that are growing, and we're talking about things like gas stations. We're talking about things that are more infrastructure driven. And I think that when you get into the commercial space, that's kind of what we want to be talking about. I know Jade in the last year worked with a commercial client where she was securing warehouse space, and jumping into that segment was a challenge. And she met a lot of great people and she learned a lot of great things. I learned a lot just from watching her. But one thing that I did find was that there's not always a ton of readily available, well-advertised commercial space. It doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It's just not the same as the residential side. Everybody's got a pretty house with curb appeals, got it posted on Facebook and this and that. But a lot of the times, if there's a warehouse available, you may have to actually have a network like we're talking about that could point you in the right direction and that could get you looped in, if you will. So that commercial conference is at the Hyatt Regency. That's there on Coconut Road. That hotel is beautiful. If you've never been to an event there, this would be a great one for you to go to. Last year, we went to the event. We crashed an event after that, some corporate event. And then we went from there. You're just a hop over to Coconut Point. So if we need to grab Ruth's Chris before or after, if we've got to go to Cheesecake Factory for a slice afterwards, whatever we got to do, we're going to do. And we want to have fun. We want to network with our peers. I don't mind seeing my competitors there. I like to keep eyes on you guys to see what's going on and let you know where I'm at and what I'm doing, right? So I'm going to be the guy to tell you. I'm local and licensed. I want to help. In 67 counties, I'm licensed, and my license will carry from Key West all the way up to Jacksonville, baby. So if you're buying, selling, building, if you're refinancing, if you're doing a deal in Florida, I want you to tag in Title Adam. So I hope to see you at these events, and I'll put the notes in the comments below. If you're not already, please take a quick second to smash that like button, subscribe button, any button on the screen, comment, and share. And I really appreciate that. I want to share a couple of listings with you that Jade took on this week and that I think represent really exceptional bargains in this marketplace. And I'm going to share some data with you after that that's going to kind of put that into perspective, because the market is changing a lot. The market is moving a lot. We are seeing, buyers negotiating heavy and hard, but we're also seeing sellers of the right properties move and go through closing process quickly and with less stress. So the ones that are priced and motivated are moving. The ones that are stubborn and still expecting top dollar are sitting. And that's kind of the overarching story. Let's go into 3 listings that Jade has right now. This is Jade Varela, Real Estate by Barber, love of my life, top real estate agent. Here we go. She onboarded this listing. We went to look at it. This is at 7968 22nd Terrace. This is LaBelle. All right. This is Wheeler's subdivision. So I always consider it Lehigh Acres, but this is a Hendry County LaBelle address with acreage. It's 1.25 acres. It's located on the Dog Canal. So it actually is on that canal, which I think makes it a really stellar option. I saw an interior lot on the same street that was for sale by owner for $89,000. I think that is in a very aggressive ask. Jade just brought this one to market though for $74,900. I'm going to tell you a little bit about it, and we'll put the link to the listing in the notes below. Anytime you have a question about these listings, you should just reach out to Jade. Her number's 239-738-4940, and she's with Real Estate by Barber. Here we go. Located in Wheeler Estates in western Hendry County, just across the Lee County line, this 1.25 acre parcel offers loads of space and privacy. 7968 22nd Terrace is located just off paved Wheeler Road, and this parcel sits at the end of the road, adjacent to the Dog Canal. The surrounding area features larger home sites, established residences, trees, open space, and new construction, creating a peaceful, rural setting with less through traffic. Conveniently located near the greater Lehigh Acres and LaBelle areas, this is an excellent opportunity to secure waterfront acreage in a unique rural residential community. Now, the property is 1.25 acres, okay? And it measures 164 by 332 by 164 by 332. Right there on the water. And it's actually a nice size. Dog Canal is actually a nice size canal because, we got all these waterfront lots here in Lehigh Acres. Some of them are nothing more than a drainage ditch with a little water in it. This one actually, I could see fishing it, and I'm a fisherman, so I could see throwing a line out there. I also liked on this road in particular, there were multiple new construction, modern elevation, good looking homes. So we're looking at a price point that probably is running, I'm just guessing because I haven't looked, but I'm guessing, in that 600 to 700,000. I saw a lot of really nice homes out there that maybe even eclipse that number. But this lot was really special because, and I'll show you in the photos, it's widely cleared. There's not a lot there that you'd have to remove to start moving on it. And, I would encourage you to take a look at it. It's definitely a special lot. It's got northern exposure. Taxes are $858 a year, so not very high at all. And that's really all I know to tell you about that one. But I would say that if you're out in that area, you should take a look at it. And you would be nestled there right in the mix of, I was talking to Amanda in my office about this, right in the mix of everything that's getting ready to pop over there with all the development on Joel. It's also very close to Franklin Man Preserve, which if you're local, that is a beautiful, peaceful preserve, a nice spot to spend a little time. But for me personally, I'm going to be chilling on the 1.25 acres, probably with a tall fence, and enjoying that canal on the back of my own property. So I would encourage you to take a look at that one. I think you'd really like that. And then talking about vacant land, she's got another one, and this one is a double. It's a double lot, so it's going to give you a full half acre to build on. And this is at 2606 42nd Street Southwest in Lehigh Acres. 33976, aka the hotbed, aka the hot zone, aka the place to be. 33976 is hot. When we went to take video and kind of scope out the listing that she took on this half acre lot, there's two houses being built, on the same street, nice elevation again, and being built, prepped anyways by a friend of mine. And so we stopped and chatted with them. It's a really nice property. And for a half acre out there, listed, brought to market proudly by Real Estate by Barber, Jade Varela, Realtor, $54,900 for a half acre. This is the kind of land that gets harder to find as the area grows. This half acre double lot is situated on a paved road along 42nd Street Southwest near Connie Ave. Shout out Connie Barber. With new construction and quality homes being built right on the street. Conveniently located between Alabama Road South and Sunshine Boulevard South with easy access to Lee Boulevard and State Road 82. Electric services available along the road, and Fort Myers, RSW, and Southwest Florida's beaches are all within a short drive. This is a great opportunity to secure a larger home site in an area experiencing continued growth and development. I love it. Yes, it's 160 by 137. It's a beautiful lot, high and dry, no flood insurance in Lehigh Acres. Come build that house. Come build that house with confidence in Lehigh Acres. And don't Cape Coral my Lehigh. I just wanted to say it just to get you guys raging. Lehigh Acres is a wonderful spot to build a new home, and there's a lot of land out there. But that double lot, I think, represents a really nice deal. The property, as far as I know, is already strapped as a half acre. But, you could come through and you could split those back into quarter acres and build 2 houses on it. You could do anything you want. It's being offered as a half acre package. And then this is the one that I really wanted to bring up to you. This one is outside of Lehigh Acres. It's in Fort Myers. 33916. All right. Jade's got this condo listed over here. It's a townhouse she's got listed over here, and it's in Forest Lake Townhomes. Very close to the mall. Great location proximity to Colonial. Very close to everything you need. It's just a nice little community tucked. It's tucked. It's got a virtual gate and guard, so your HOA fees are very reasonable, but yet you still have security. And I think that's important. You put your ID in the scanner, and they come on, and they talk to you and clear you or your guests through. It's nice. And I'll tell you, with a lot of HOAs, if you've got a manned guard gate, you've got to pay that guy. And guess what? Everything costs more this year than it did last year. So that security guard is going to be asking you for more money every year in the HOA budget, and those HOA fees are going to go up every year to pay him a good living. And the virtual guard is a great option. I've seen multiple communities use it effectively. And like I said, you are still required to be checked in and logged to access the community. That said, this is a 2-bedroom, 2.5 bath townhome. It was built in 2005. 3618 Pine Oak Circle, Unit 105. Here we go. 1,206 square feet under air. Welcome to Forest Lake Townhomes, a gated community in the heart of Fort Myers with easy access to shopping, dining, major roadways, Pagefield, downtown, and Southwest Florida's beautiful beaches. 3618 Pine Oak Circle, number 105, is a 2-bedroom, 2.5 bath townhouse and offers 1,206 square feet of living space with a comfortable layout, an open living area, and a convenient first-floor guest bath. The kitchen features newer black stainless steel appliances. The washer and dryer are included upstairs, too. The AC was replaced in 2019, and residents of Forest Lake Townhomes enjoy 2 assigned parking spaces right in front of the unit, too, which is really nice. 2 assigned parking spaces plus ample guest parking, beautifully landscaped grounds with tropical palms and flowering shrubs, a community pool, barbecue areas, a clubhouse, playground, gated entry, and more. HOA fee includes cable, internet, and exterior grounds maintenance. Flood insurance is not required, and this is an excellent opportunity to own an affordable home in convenient Fort Myers location. You got to see the pictures of this one to really get the vibe, Truman Show vibe. Nice colors, like a very pleasant color palette, and they just are, it's like I said, the community's tucked nicely, and there is a nice lake in there. There is a nice clubhouse. There is safe areas to walk and play and raise your kids, and again, close to everything. So I really like this townhouse a lot. I want to share a little bit more with you. All right. I told you that the HOA fee, which is $345 per month, but that's going to cover your cable, your internet, and all of your exterior grounds maintenance, so you start adding those things up and you go, okay, well, this makes sense. Plus the gate and the guard. And I'm willing to stand on that there's a value to that. I'm willing to stand on that. Amenities: barbecue, picnic, bike and jog path, cabana, clubhouse, community park, community pool, community room, dog park, exercise room, internet access, play area, street lights, underground utilities. The 2-story, like I told you, there's 248 units in the complex. The unit has, this is one of the things I wanted to mention, the unit has a private garden patio, if you will. It's a fenced patio out of the back of the townhouse, and it provides a nice exterior living space. Depending on the time of the year, it would be the place to find me, but it's out there and it's really nice looking. And I'll give you the honest on it. I'll tell you the truth about it is that when I looked at this one, I said, Jade, this is a great opportunity for first-time home buyer. This is a great opportunity for a second home. This is a great opportunity for someone who's interested in an investment property. This actually was an investment property before the sellers brought it to market. And it provides an interesting option to buyers today. One, because it's priced so competitively compared to the rest of the inventory in the market. And I believe that bakes in some of the deferred maintenance that needs to be brought up to speed on it. But like I said, when you factor in the cost of paint, the cost of maybe new flooring, when you start looking at that, you can make a very competitive offer. You could strike while the iron's hot on something like that, and then you make it the way that you want it. Because the reality is, if we paint it pink, you'll want it purple. And if we put down wood, you're going to want tile. The best thing, in my opinion, is to do what the seller has apparently done. They've priced it competitively and said, you come in and you do what you want to do. You come in and you put what you want. You make this your home. But as far as we know, approval process, very easy. The community is very easy to work with as far as getting the estoppel and closing deals in there. I know my friend Eva Bird has closed a couple in there, and I know that Jade has closed a couple in here too. So would love to do another deal in here, and would love for you to tag in Title Adam when it's time to make your offer. Those are 3 listings that Jade has right now that I'd like to call attention to, and I just want to tell people about. And if you need to buy any type of a property or sell any type of a property, call her and let her offer her advice. And the truth is, her advice may be to go with someone else or to do, a different direction. But she is definitely someone who cares about her customer, who delivers a quality product, and who works for a great brokerage. So check in with her on that. Now, I want to switch gears now that we've talked a little bit about how great Jade is, and she is great. I want to talk about a court case that I'm following in Lee County. This is, title, when a condo board changes rules on your investment. I'm going to bring you through it. If you own a condo in Florida, especially if you bought it as an investment property, I want you to pay attention to this case because the question at the center of this lawsuit is bigger than one landlord, one tenant, or one HOA. The question is, if you buy a property with certain rental rights written into the recorded condominium documents, how far can a condo board go later in creating new restrictions on those rights? All right. That's exactly the fight now being alleged in a Lee County lawsuit involving Musa at Daniels Condominium. Here's the background. The plaintiff says it purchased condominium units as investment properties for the purpose of generating rental income. The original declaration allows units to be leased, subject to the requirements contained in Section 17.8. According to the lawsuit, however, the board later adopted a 2021 resolution called Good Cause Reasons to Disapprove Leases. That resolution gave the board a much more detailed tenant screening system. It authorized background and credit checks on adult occupants and listed a number of reasons the board could use to reject a proposed tenant. Here's where this gets interesting. The actual 2021 board resolution states that a prospective tenant can be rejected for showing a strong possibility of financial irresponsibility or for failing to meet a 700 FICO minimum. But according to the complaint, the association's later published lease application says that one prospective tenant must have a 670 FICO or higher. So here's an obvious question. If the board resolution said 700, how did the operative application become 670? Who changed it? When was it changed? And under what authority was it changed? The plaintiff's larger argument is even more important. It says neither the credit score requirement nor the authority to perform these credit and background checks existed in the original declaration. The lawsuit challenges more than the credit score. The plaintiff alleges that the association requires prospective tenants to submit an application containing background checks for residents over 18, the lease, vehicle registrations, and photo identification. It also alleges the association charges a $150 non-refundable application fee, while the declaration provides for a lease approval transfer fee not to exceed $100 per applicant. And according to the complaint, even after a tenant is approved, The application imposes a 14-day grace period before that person is allowed to move in. The plaintiff isn't simply arguing that these are inconvenient rules. The lawsuit says the board effectively amended the declaration without a membership vote by creating substantive rental restrictions that weren't contained in the recorded declaration. The plaintiff also points to Florida's Condominium Act. The complaint cites Section 718.110, arguing that an amendment restricting an owner's rental rights applies only to owners who consent to the amendment and owners who purchase after the amendment becomes effective. And here's the key factual allegation. The plaintiff says it acquired its units before the 2021 resolution and did not consent to the new restrictions. The complaint gives concrete examples. Focus up on this. For one unit, the association allegedly denied an applicant who had owned property since 2020, had 4 years of mortgage payments without a single missed payment, 20 credit accounts without a missed payment, a management job paying more than $5,000 per month, and no criminal eviction history. The property manager reportedly asked the HOA to reconsider the denial. The HOA allegedly refused. The complaint describes another denial in 2026 involving an applicant who allegedly had a current mortgage on another property and current accounts. I got to tell you, it's tough renting a place right now because you're asking me to have over a 700 credit score, make 3 times the rent, have debt. I mean, it's tough, guys. Good people like me may fall below that 700 credit score, but I'm telling you, I faithfully pay my bills every month. You know, I just have a little less road, you know, at the end of the month. I run lean. That's what I'm doing. I'm raising a family. I'm running a business. I'm doing everything I can to survive. And when you have this guy who they said, okay, he's works in management at Home Depot. He makes $5,000 a month. He's had 20 credit accounts. He's never had a missed payment. He's had a mortgage since 2020. He's never had a missed housing payment. And we're not taking this guy. That's interesting because this leads into selective enforcement. The complaint alleges that the association president and treasurer themselves rent units in the condominium, and the plaintiff alleges, based on information and belief, that different or less stringent leasing criteria has been applied to rental applications involving units owned by board members than to applications involving the plaintiff's units. That's an allegation. It has to be proven, but if supported by evidence, it could become an important part of this case. Now, look at what the plaintiff says this has done to his investment. The complaint says that the plaintiff currently has 5 vacant units at Musa Daniels, a 33% vacancy rate. They own 15 units in there. 5 of them are vacant. It says the plaintiff does not experience a similar vacancy rate among any of its other 75 Florida rental properties. They got 75 rentals throughout the state. Not a single one has that kind of vacancy rate. It says that the plaintiff does not experience that. The lawsuit alleges lost rent, prolonged vacancies, diminished investment value, interference with existing and prospective tenant relationships, and reputational harm to the rental business. On the intentional interference count alone, the plaintiff estimates the lost rental income at more than $50,000, with the actual amount to be proven at trial. What the owner wants them to do, the lawsuit asks the court for several forms of relief. Among other things, the plaintiff wants the court to declare the 2021 resolution and lease application invalid and unenforceable against it, and to determine that lease denials made under those criteria are void or voidable. The plaintiff also seeks damages, attorney's fees and costs, temporary and permanent injunctive relief that would stop the association from continuing the challenged practices. Now, why this matters to Florida owners, this is why I think this case matters really to anybody considering buying a condo as an investment. When we talk about title in real estate, we're not just talking about whose name appears on a deed. We're talking about the bundle of rights that comes with that property, including what recorded restrictions already exist when you buy it. A condominium absolutely has governing documents, rules, a board, statutory authority, but those layers of authority are not necessarily interchangeable. There can be major legal differences between administering an existing restriction and creating a new substantive restriction on an owner's ability to rent the property. This is essentially the line that the lawsuit is asking the court to examine and determine. Remember, these are allegations that are contained in the lawsuit, and the association is entitled to defend itself, dispute the facts,
and present its interpretation of the governing documents in Florida law. A complaint tells us what the plaintiff alleges and what relief they seek. It does not by itself establish those allegations are true or tell us how the court will ultimately rule. But for Florida buyers and investors, there's already a lesson here. Before buying a condominium because you intend to rent it, don't stop at that listing description or what somebody else tells you the rental policy is. You need to understand the recorded declaration, the amendments, the association rules, leasing provisions, approval procedures, any changes that could affect your property and the way that you rent it out. And I want to tell you that as part of the diligence process as a buyer, you're supposed to be provided with the bylaws, with the rules and regulations, with the financials, and all of the optics that you need to really make that determination. But the truth is that in the world of real estate today, a lot of stuff is DocuSigned. A lot of things are lost in the shuffle. It was sent to your email. You didn't read it. And this is at the end of the day, I say it every time. Caveat emptor, buyer beware. It's your responsibility to do your homework. No, you don't want to be outright lied to, but you're never going to be able to stand in front of a judge in the court and say, but Your Honor, nobody told me, because it's your job to ask questions. It's your job to uncover, and it's your team's job to help you navigate what you uncover, right? So your title insurance agent needs to be able to talk title. Your mortgage lender needs to be able to talk interest rates. Your real estate agent needs to be able to talk your contract and enforceability. Homeowner's insurance guy needs to be able to talk about replacement value. That's just where it's at. Surveyor needs to be able to talk about property lines, and they do. So we're going to continue to follow that lawsuit. I follow a lot of lawsuits in Lee County and around the state if they apply to my business. And real estate lawsuits are, there's a ton of them out there to go through, but some of them have actually good lessons for us to learn. The biggest lesson from this one is that there are rules that are established when you buy in an HOA. They may not align with your ultimate goal. It's your responsibility as the buyer to examine the documents within the time frame allotted so that you can resolve those issues. It's also, in my opinion, a great reason for you to get on the HOA board the moment that your deed is transferred and you're an owner. You should seek to get on the HOA, and you should seek to drive change that favors your position. And whether that's how you want to rent, whether it's, colors of the mailbox, whether it is the HOA fees and the budget, you should be getting involved. I see a lot of this people asking, who is John Galt? And I would just say, I've already said it. So that's it. All right. And then I want to finally just go into, this is the June 2026 Southwest Florida Real Estate Market Update. This is the from Royal Palm Coast Realtor Association. They publish these reports. We dive through them. The 20-page comprehensive report, and it talks a little bit, talks about the questions that some people have on real estate. I'm going to breeze through it. Some of it applies to my world. Some of it doesn't. Maybe you'll take a piece out of this that will really help you in your day as well. All right. Royal Palm Coast Realtor Association just released its June numbers. Single-family homes, the median sale price came in at $369,000. That's actually up 2.5% from May and up a little over 1% from June of last year. But zoom out to the whole first half of the year, and prices are still down about 1.4% year to date. Buyers are coming back. There were 1,351 pending single-family sales in June. That's up 23.6% from June 2025. That's a big increase in a month that we consider a shoulder month. We consider, kids are getting out of school. We're not making a move right now. 1,351 pending single-family home. 1,351 pending single-family sales in June. That's up 23.6% from June 2025. Condo pending sales up almost 36%. Those are big numbers. Year-to-date pending sales are up almost 12% for single-family homes and more than 31% for condos. So even though everybody has spent the last couple of years talking about interest rates, insurance, and affordability, people are still putting properties under contract. I mentioned this earlier, that it actually is about the properties that have the price and condition that will compel an offer. There are buyers out there that are looking for the deal. They're not looking to pay overprice. They're not looking to, accept unreasonable terms, but they're out there and they're ready to strike. Here's another number that surprised me. Inventory is actually down. There were 6,222 single-family homes for sale at the end of June. That's down 21% from last year. Condo inventory is down about 20% overall. Single-family inventory is now sitting at exactly 5 months supply, and we know that National Association of Realtors consider 5 to 7 months of inventory a balanced market. So take that for what it's worth. Now, condos are a different story. Median condo price was $239 in June. That's down 4.4% from May, 2.4% from last year, almost 5% down year to date. Condos are taking longer to sell, 75 days compared to 56 for single family. Now, listen to this. Sellers are getting 88% of their original asking price on condominium sales. That's compared to 93% on single family homes. So basically, buyers are walking in with brass knuckles, knocking teeth out, saying, I want everything, plus closing costs, plus a credit for flooring, plus paint. Condo buyers have it rough right now. Condo sellers have it rough right now. Condo buyers, the roughest part of their situation, their plight, is they have so many options to go through. A lot of this stuff I'm not even going to go into. I pulled a lot of data, but, Cape Coral single-family homes had a median price of $390, up more than 4% from last year. Pending sales up 25.5%. What about Cape Coral condos? Down almost 9%, $205,000. Same city, completely different story. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough marketing condos, guys. Fort Myers shows something similar, $445,000 median single-family, up 1.7% from last year. Condo prices down almost 5%, but the sales were up more than 20%. Lower prices appear to be helping move some of that condo inventory, huh? Okay, Lehigh Acres is another one that I do watch pretty closely. Median single-family price was about $310,000, down just 6% from last year. Pending sales jumped 53.9% year over year. I want to say that stat again for Lehigh Acres because I live and I love in Lehigh Acres. Listen to this. Median single family price was $310,000. Pending sales jumped 53.9% year over year. That is a stat that you should be carrying with pride. That's 337 homes that went under contract in June compared with 219 a year before. That's one of the most interesting numbers in the entire report. Prices have adjusted. Buyers are responding. Lehigh Acres is looking good. And we did see that price per square foot had to come down a little bit. But again, the inventory that's priced right is moving. And you got the beaches, which are basically their own universe. Fort Myers Beach had 11 single-family closings. But the median sale price was $1.3 million, up 49% from a year prior. Meanwhile, Fort Myers Beach condos were down more than 22% in median price, but condo sales were up 40%. A healthy adjustment in the price drove a healthy increase in units. And that's just economics. That's going to happen. Market sorting itself out. I don't know. Chat gave me some cute stuff to say, but the market is sorting itself out. And we'll continue to learn more about that as we go into the fall. About 60 days out from my haircut. I'll be cutting my hair at the end of the third quarter, so stay tuned for that. Finally get all this chopped off. Go back to the OG faux hawk and let it grow right back. Let it grow right back. So you've hung with me now for a little bit. Thanks for being in the house. We've got work to do today. And if you're buying, selling, building, refinancing, hey, if you're doing a deal in Florida, tag in Title Adam. I'm local and licensed. I'm here. 3507 Lee Boulevard Central. I'm upstairs, Suite 260. Come up and see us Monday through Friday. And as you know, I live near the office. So if you ever need an after hours appointment, somebody to notarize something for you, need a copy made, cold bottle of water, you want to come in the house, just hit me up. 239-888-5757. Title Adam out. That's a wrap on Title Adam in the house. Subscribe, share, and tag in Title Adam when it's time to close. You want to be a guest? Book your spot. The link's in the show notes.